You're now listening to episode 25, Start of Play Football. Myself, Theo, as always, man. Kojo, what you saying?
Yeah, I'm okay, man. I'm good, man. What you say?
I was going to say I got the tea ready. I got the coffee ready, man. Need it today, man. But, boy, man, where do we start? Let's start with the positive things, man. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you go to the audio version of the podcast and do all those good stuff for us. We appreciate it as always. But yeah, man, news broke last night. Again, I felt deja vu come over me. I felt like this was the same time. I think I was even doing the same thing, reading to my kids before they went to bed. The same thing that happened with Thomas Tuchel. The notification came through. Club statement, Chelsea. It was deja vu, bro. I can't even lie. Like, anyway. Anyone who's been under a rock last 24 hours or last 12 hours, 10 hours, Mauricio Pochettino decided to walk away from Chelsea. And I want to hear your thoughts first, actually, before I give my thoughts. I want to hear what you think about that. Was that the wrong choice from the owners to sack him? I'm going to say it's a sacking because that's what I feel like it is. I feel like they've sacked him in a little man way, in a nice way, but it's a sacking. What's your thoughts?
I think it's the wrong decision, personally. The reason why I think it's the wrong decision, and it's only about the fact that, you know, they got an alternative form from, I guess, second half of the season. It's more to do with the fact that I think the one thing that you needed more than ever is stability. I think the second thing you needed is a manager that had time for the young players that you've bought a lot of young players, and he's been good with them, really good with them, in my opinion. You can see the improvements in Caicedo recently. You can see the improvements in Cole Palmer. Maybe Cole Palmer was always that player, but I see he wasn't getting enough game time. At Chelsea, he's exploded into a fine player. You know, giving faith in players like Petrovic, you know, to go and be the number one for the rest of the season. That's the kind of stuff that he's been doing for the club. And I think when you sack him without a clear plan, because that's what it looks like to me, I don't think they've got a clear plan for a manager. You're hearing that they want a young, progressive, a style of play, but then you don't have a name. You don't have a certified name. Yeah, and this is the issue. He's, like I said, beginning of the season was poor, but look, he's got Chelsea back into sixth place. He got them back into the Europa League. He got into a position where you could argue that they can go and progress. And I think the one thing that they should have done is just let him go on and let him have a bit more of a say in who they're going to bring in. Yeah, I think they've undercut him quite badly, actually. So I think it's a bad decision. I don't know where you guys go from here. Me personally, if I'm a manager in a decent situation where obviously I've done enough to impress other clubs that want me.
Yeah.
I don't think Chelsea would be on top of my list because what I see from the outside is a circus. You guys have just paid about, 45 million for another Brazilian youth?
Yep.
What for? Like, you've already spent a lot of money on so many other guys coming that are yet to come, and the guys are already here, and you've already splashed more money on this guy, and it's like, what's the point? But yeah, bad decision for me. Pochettino will be fine. I think he'll find another club. I think he's left his reputation intact because I think if you really assess the situation at Chelsea, you really understand that this is not to do with only like, if you want to call it bad management or bad players. I think just the whole situation for the club ever since Abramovich just left, it's just been a mess. And this is what going to be. You've had Lampard, Tuchel, and Poch in his reign, right? Is there one person I'm missing?
Yeah, we had Soltar. His name's Soltar. He was only there for a game. He only managed one game. But
there you go. Three kind of long-term managers in 2 years. It's a joke to me, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I think if you're a Chelsea fan now and you're still kind of thinking there's a vision. I remember I've said that. I mean, I'm rinsing and recycling exactly what I've been saying for nearly enough 2 years now. If you're a Chelsea fan and you think there's a clear vision or a project or a process that these lot are trying to do, if this doesn't scream at you that there is no vision, there's no project, there's no idea, nothing, because you can't. Like if you're going to try and do something in a long term, you can't have short term objectives and then like throw your toys out the pram when you don't meet them. Because if you're looking in a long term perspective of things, you're going to have bumps on the road. Like you've changed the whole squad from top to bottom. Like literally, I think if you went back to that Champions League winning squad, I'm trying to think who would be out there. There's probably about 2 or 3 players that who were in that squad that are still at this club now. Do you know what I mean? So you've changed not just the squad, you've changed everything upstairs. Everyone upstairs is different, new faces, new ideas. You're going to come up against a couple of bumpy things on the way. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you should accept them, all of them. Like, yeah, the 2 seasons back to back, well, last season, sorry, when we finished like mid-table, I'm not saying you should accept that or you miss out on Champions League football. I'm not saying you should accept that, but you should understand that if you're wanting to do something in a long-term process, then those things are going to happen. Like, you've changed the whole squad. The whole squad's changed. The manager changed in early part of August, September with Tuchel leaving. You then bring in Graham Potter, who has a whole different idea and a way of he wants to play football. So then the players have to adapt again. That's going to take time again. Then you sack him. Then you bring in Frank Lampard. He's got a whole new way of wanting to play. The players have to adapt to that. Then you get rid of him because he's interim. Then you bring in Pochettino, who's got another way he wants his team to play. Do you know what I mean? So there's all these things that you got to factor all these things in. Yeah. And for me, and I hear Chelsea fans, they're like, oh, but Tuchel, the owners wanted Tuchel to be involved in transfers when they first came on board, Todd Bowley and whoever else. And the reason they did that is because they didn't have people upstairs making those decisions. Like, it was literally just Todd Bowley running around. If you remember, there was a whole thing about he was just running around trying to sign Rafinha, trying to sign this person, and he was in Barcelona 1 minute, then he's in this city, this country. He was everywhere. And that's because we didn't have the structure above. So he needed Thomas Tuchel at that point to help him with the off-field stuff he did. Like, that's just truth. Now Chelsea fans are saying, oh, but look, now the tables have turned and now the owners don't want the manager involved in the transfers. That's because they got people upstairs that should be doing that job for them. Yeah. So, like, that's a stupid statement that Chelsea fans are trying to make, and it's annoying. For me personally, I think sacking Pochettino, and I probably said it before that he needed to go. And the reason I said that at the time is because you couldn't see the progression with Pochettino. Thankfully, I'd say March, April, we got to see the progression because we saw the results. We saw the wins at Stamford Bridge. We saw some style of play, something that Pochettino was trying to install into these players. You got to see it slowly and gradually. And then that's when you get into that position of Europa League football. But had he gone on and carried on and we were still sat in 10th, 11th, then yeah, he might have to go. But fans are entitled to change their mind based on results. That's just in their common sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I look at this and I think the owners now have shot themselves in the foot because, to be fair, Pochettino had the ball in his court. Whether you want to like it or not, he was the one that had the opportunity to call the shots. He can now, like you just said, he's not going to be short of opportunities. He was on Man United's shortlist before they appointed Erik ten Hag. They're looking to sack Erik ten Hag. He might go there. Bayern Munich are looking for a new manager. They were talking about Tuchel. They might say to Tuchel, oh, no, fuck off now. We're going to go and get Pochettino.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So they could go and do that. He'll have opportunities, man. He'll have opportunities. But I think the owners didn't realise now they got to pay him up another year, which is a big thing. They got to pay him up another year because he had another year left on his contract. Yeah. That's more money. You got to think, I factor that into next year's financial expenditures and whatever else. Mm-hmm. And then you got to appoint another manager now. That's going to cost more money.
Are you satisfied with the names that you're being linked with?
Nah, man, come on. I was going to get onto that. Come on, like, I'm not, and this is not a disrespect to any of those managers either, because they've all, if you look at their profiles, they've all successfully done stuff in their own way. My issue is they're not things that I would go, oh yeah, that gives you the green pass to go and be the Chelsea manager. Like Kieran McKenna, great job at Ipswich. Yeah. Brilliant job at Ipswich. Like, we can't even take that away. Like, he just won Manager of the Year, I think, last night. You can't take that away from him. Enzo Maresca, Leicester, you can't take what he's done for Leicester as well. But are you telling me that gives you the right then to just walk into a club that is ambitiously trying to get back into the Champions League? Like, is that even a thing? Like, where did they do that?
There's no level of evidence to suggest that any of these guys will be the ones to take you further. And it's one of those things where you just never know. Of course, if you were to hire McKenna, for example, and he could have done a fantastic job, then cool. But it's what you said before. Regardless, there's still no structure. There's still no understanding of what's going to happen. And for me, if you're someone like McKenna, it's like the same thing about Potter. When Potter's at Brighton and you have everything, sort of like how football is now, you have everything catered to you. This is how it should be. This big circle here. And you want it that way because they have involvement in everything. Same way Pep had to with City, same way Southampton had it with Man United. Everything goes through the manager. You're going to go Chelsea now and have everything go through the owners who, quite frankly, to this day, we still have no evidence that they have a clue about what they actually want to do. Abramovich was unknown, but at least when he came in, you could see a direction straight away.
And
you know what I mean?
And the difference with that is he was able to not be at that club and trust the people that were at the club day to day, running the club to get the job done. Marina Granskaya, Bruce Buck, all of them, man, that were there, and women, whoever were there, they got the job done. And that was as simple as that. So, and this whole sacking, like people are saying, but we've always been sacking managers. We did. But do you know what the maddest thing is? It actually worked in our favour. Because when we sacked a manager, we appointed another manager that was either on the same level or a level above that manager. Do you get what I'm saying? Or you could see that they had potential to do something with the squad. And let's be honest, the squad that they were getting, managers that were coming into the team, the squad that they were inheriting wasn't actually a bad squad. This is a squad. This is a squad of young players that need management. And let's be real, Pochettino, if you look on Instagram, which I don't tend to do, but when you go on there, you'll see all the players coming out. Cole Palmer, Nicholas Jackson, Madueke, Kokore, all of them are coming out almost defending the manager.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's stupid, man. Honestly, I'm so glad I never done this yesterday, because I think sometimes you got to just sleep on stuff and just not be, like last night I was watching those people's streams, and it's all emotive, like just angriness and just spitting out bullshit. Whereas sometimes you got to put your head on the pillow, just relax, and then just wake up a bit fresh-headed in the morning. But what do you think about this whole idea that Pochettino, because it sounds like what happened the other day, yesterday, was it yesterday, that Pochettino had a conversation with the directors, Paul and Stanley, and it sounds like he wanted more control or more say in who came through the door at Cobham and those players coming in. Do you blame him for that based on the past 18 months or almost 2 years with what's happened at the club?
Absolutely not.
Do you know what I mean?
Look at the funny enough, the team that you've got right now overall isn't a bad squad, but there is such a lack of balance that he's had to work, and he's not blameless. Doing stuff like at times where you see Chilwell as a much more advanced winger or something like that, those things are a bit risky. I don't understand why he done those things.
Do you think that was forced though? Do you think that was forced based on injuries, for instance, or suspensions?
It could be that, but I could also say that I feel like he went down the Mourinho route where when we finished second when he finished second with United, he wanted to bolster the back line and they didn't bolster the defence at all for him. They brought Dallo, who was sent away immediately on loan. They brought Fred into the midfield. And he was not a defensive midfielder, so there's no extra protection for the back line.
Yeah.
And Lee Grant. So he made a point by starting McTominay at centre back, just to be like, I'm telling you, there's a problem here. I feel like a part of the time he done that, but also I think he also realised that the best way to get balance is sometimes to just leave some of the guys out. And I think it was maybe like a blessing in disguise for him that Enzo Fernandez got injured at the time he did. Yeah. Because when you saw the Gallagher and Caicedo midfield, you did see a better balance, if I'm being very honest. But yeah, no, come on, man. If you're going to improve your squad, you got to let the manager have the final say on who's coming in, or at least have enough of a say so he knows who is coming in and he knows what to do with them. I keep saying this about Pochettino. No matter what anyone says about him, and whether they think he's good or not because he hasn't won trophies or whatever, you look at his history at Espanyol, when he brought in the players that he wanted, they overachieved. When they were Southampton, same thing. Tottenham became title challengers 2 years in a row, got to Champions League final because the players that he wanted came through. Dele Alli, Alderweireld, You know what I mean? These kind of talents. PSG, that's just PSG. I don't really care about PSG. But you come to Chelsea and they've just thrown a squad. And like I said earlier on, they're now going to spend 45 million on a Brazilian who, dare I say, doesn't have near the same hype as like an Endrick or a younger Vinicius Junior. Or, I mean, like, there's no, I don't know.
No, I hear you. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. No, you can continue because I don't know why they thought him saying I want more involvement in transfers they thought was a bad idea because it's interesting to put it, but they don't know about football, so there you go.
And that's my worry. That's my worry. I was gonna say, even the Brazilian that's coming in, I've heard good things about him. I don't know much about him, I'll be honest, but even that, it was a massive warning sign because I don't think that was even, for me personally, was a priority position to even look at. Like for me, goalkeeper.
Yeah.
I know we've got defenders there, but I still think we need an experienced centre back, like someone who's played at the top level, who's like we're looking now. Obviously, Thiago Silva's gone, so Fofana, Badiashile, Disasi, Trevor Chalobah, and that's another thing. Sorry, Trevor Chalobah is there as well, but again, him, Conor Gallagher. I think that was another massive factor because Pochettino came out numerous times and said, "Look, Conor Gallagher, the fans might not think he's the best player, but for me, he plays well, and I see him on a training ground every day. I'm watching this guy. I can see what he can do, and I'll be honest, he probably got the best out of Conor Gallagher. Like the last season that we just had is probably the best season I think Conor Gallagher's had at Chelsea. So he got the best out of him, but you can tell that the owners are thinking pure profit. We need to get rid of these men quick. We need to get rid of them. So Pochettino's probably bumping heads every day with these owners thinking, and I remember recently he said that I can't remember if it was 2 months or 2 weeks, but he said he hadn't spoke to the owner for a time. Like, I was thinking, how is this working? Like, if you're the manager and you're at the very top and you haven't got that level of communication with the man that's day to day looking after your investments, as he calls them, how's that even working? Like, where can you go in a job and not speak to your gaffer for two whole months or 2 weeks, whatever it was, and not have a line of communication? Like that door should always be open for both sides, like manager to owner to manager. So I just think it's a massive decision. I don't know where we go from here. I don't know who comes in. The names, like I said, the names that I'm hearing coming in, even now, Thomas Frank. I heard Thomas Frank last night. Hansi Flick's ruled himself out. There's obviously going to be, they want to go for a young manager so you can rule out Thomas Tuchel. People talk about Jose Mourinho, rule all of them out because none of them fit the profile. And the worrying thing is, sorry, I'm ranting, sorry. But
no, go for it.
The worrying thing is, we've got a young squad and now we're going to bring in a young manager.
Doesn't make sense, bro. Doesn't make sense, bro. For their sake, whoever they bring in next better work. That's it.
But it won't. It won't because the owners are there. So if the moment the owners think, you know what, I'm going to fuck this guy off, or woman, whoever, we're going to fuck them off because we're not happy with whatever they've done or they've spoken out of line. Because that's what it seems like. It's like a dictatorship. It ain't about the results. It ain't about, giving the manager time to apply what he wants to apply and get the team right. Like, Nkunku's only just come back into the squad. We've got to remember that. Reece James only just came back. He played one game and got sent off. Yeah. We haven't seen Fofana. We haven't seen Lavia. We haven't seen none of these players, really. And you're expecting and the manager's done what he can with the squad. And at times I said, he might be out of his depth and whatever, but when you see the progress and you can see things happening, you got to praise him for that as well. Like the same time we're giving him the criticism, on the right side, we have to give him the praise. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So whoever comes in, I don't think it even matters because I don't think they're the problem. I think the directors are a problem. Paul Winstanley and all of them idiots that are up there, they're the problem because they're the ones that are hiring the managers. They're the ones that are coming with all these data, iPads and whatever else and bringing them out and slashing them on the table and saying to the owner, look at this. He played unbeaten all season. Let's try and get my man, or follow his philosophy at Leverkusen, Alonso. He got unbeaten all season. Let's go and follow him. Or they're looking at Leicester and thinking, oh, they just got promoted to the Premier League. Let's go and get him. Or they're looking at De Zerbi and thinking, oh, well, we've got De Zerbi's flipping coaching staff. Let's go and bring him in.
Yeah.
Madness out here. Mad. But who do you think realistically will come in and take that job on?
That's the thing, I don't even know. I don't have a name for you.
I'm glad you're not on your own there then, because I ain't got a clue myself, man.
Honestly, when they were talking about the young guys and I saw the names that were listed, it's like, this is scary times, because not that these young managers don't have potential to be good. It's just where they are right now, the risk you're taking is huge.
Mm-hmm.
McKenna's done great. And I will be the first to tell you, when he was in the coaching staff at Man United and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I was backing this guy up, regardless of results, because the one thing that was consistent, even through the bad times, was throughout the club, from top to bottom, that means from the ownership to the players, him and Carrick were getting praise consistently, because they know the game. And you can see his results at Ipswich.
Yeah.
Maresca, he's done a good job at Leicester, but even Leicester fans will tell you that they felt a bit iffy about him, especially during the running to the end of the season where they started dropping
They
points.
dropped off big.
Anyway, big time drop off. And they should have had the league title secured a long time ago. The one name that did scare me, considering how they just been relegated, was flipping Vincent Kompany.
Do you know what? That didn't even register to me, actually, because it's funny. I was bantering Kompany the night before because I read that he was linked with Bayern Munich. I was bantering all night. I was throwing out banter to people. I was saying, how's the man got relegated and being linked with Bayern Munich? No sooner is linked with the Chelsea job. Do you know how mad that is? You're going for a man that got relegated.
That's crazy.
And Pochettino's got to come back as well. You know, the maddest thing is, he's got to do soccer aid at Stamford Bridge. That's the maddest bit as well. That this is why it's awkward now, because now you got to invite the man back to Stamford Bridge to do soccer aid. I think it's in 2 weeks. It's like 2 or 3 weweeks. It's just before the Euros.
They put this in the statement that they broke up on like really nice terms.
Amicable. That's just PR, man. That's got to be PR because
100%.
Because there's no way, if it was amicable, they would have found a way, an agreement or some sort of compromise for them both for him to be involved in transfers, but them to have the final say or something like that. And if it was that easy to be amicable to walk away, it would have been amicable to be able to meet in the middle. Do you know what I mean? So that's just PR. Them just trying to save face. Now they got to pay him off again. And why do you think Graham Potter hasn't taken a job? Do you know what I mean? The man got paid up.
I saw that he was linked again. So
to us,
yeah.
No. I'd listen. Do you know what I done last night? I'm not even shameful. I'm not even ashamed I've done this. I signed up for an Everton membership. I'm not even ashamed. I'm not even fucking ashamed. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. I signed up for one, not because I want to support them, but I want to just go and watch football and not have like that anger after the game. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I go Goodison Park, I don't care whether they lose, win or draw. Chelsea brings, even during the summer, this is the time I'm meant to just enjoy the nice weather, barbecues, beer gardens, look forward to the Euros. Even now, these lot are still pissing me off.
Yeah, I hear it.
Boy, I don't know, man.
Before we move on, let me just give you guys this warning for Chelsea fans in particular as well, because we've got an American owner who has no clue.
I know where this is going, but go on.
It wants to do. And the football's now pissing you off on all angles. Your players are now pissing you off. And you don't know where your club's heading. Does it sound very familiar?
Listen, we're following all the models, yeah? And the one model that we're clearly following, but we're not saying we're following, is Manchester United's, because I'm telling
you guys are in trouble, man.
When the West Stand starts leaking from the top because it's raining, we're going to soon find out whose model we're really following, yeah?
What you said, yeah, that you signed up for Everton membership. Let me tell you, when we sacked Mourinho after we got popped by West Ham and they got popped by Liverpool, I started going to West Ham games.
Yeah. Because it's just nice, bro. Like, you can just
It's
go,
nice.
you can go and enjoy the game. And like I said, if Everton lose and get thumped 7-0 every game, I can come home and just relax. I ain't got.
It's not my club. It's just a good game.
I'm just going out, match day experience, sit there, talk to a couple of the fans, come home. That's it. Do you know what I mean? It's on my doorstep. I literally can get there in half an hour. It ain't that far.
There you go.
I stopped traveling 2-3 hours to go to Stamford Bridge because what am I going there for? Do you know what I mean? So,
boy.
Stress, man. Stress. But let us know what you think in the comments. Let us know what you think. Are we overreacting? Should Pochettino have been sacked? Should he have stayed, man? Let us know what you think. But let's move on because we got a couple of things to tick off before we wrap up. But England, Euro, another headache yesterday, man. Because originally I thought this is going to be a 30-man squad, preliminary squad. Get rid of 4 players I think we were going to get rid of. I think you could take 26 to the Euros. And somehow, Gareth Southgate still managed to pick 33 players. Like, I don't know. But what's your thoughts, man? What's your thoughts on the initial? Going to try and get the list up, but what's your thoughts on the squad?
Those books, yeah. When the leaks were coming in, I was hearing names like Wharton and Braithwaite and Kwanzaa. I was like, oh, he's being brave. Okay, we're going to see something different here. And then the squad came out, and I saw Lewis Dunk's name, and I was like, yeah, we're back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Back to square one, man. It's the guy's just jarring. It's the stuff that he does, and then the way he responds to the questions that quite frankly piss me off. You did select Rashford, and I didn't have an issue with that because Rashford's been horrendous this season. So he shouldn't be in the squad. Absolutely. And he went and they said, oh, why didn't you take him? Just out of curiosity. There's players that had better seasons. He took Jack Grealish.
Listen.
and then if you're gonna go by that model, Solanke has had a brilliant season. I think he's actually third top English scorer behind Palmer and Watkins. And you took a guy that came back from a ban, shunned for 4 weeks, and did nothing since, to the point where he's getting benched and looking at Mbeumo and Wissa scoring goals for Brentford. But you want to about form. And then Lewis Dunk. Do I even need to go further? The fraud, man. He's a liar.
That's why I'm smiling, man.
Yeah.
That's why I'm smiling. Because I feel like, do you know what I feel like he did? I feel like he was halfway through selecting his squad, and he was being very ambitious. And I don't know what happened. Maybe he took a phone call or something in between. He was picking his squad. And the old Gareth Southgate set in. Because he was really ambitious, right? Looking at this squad now, got Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale, Henderson, Trafford, defenders, Jared Branthwaite, Mark Guehi, Kwanzaa, Trippier, Lewis Dunk, Ezri Konsa, Luke Shaw, Carl Walker, Joe Gomez, Harry Maguire, Stones, Jude Bellingham in the midfield with Conor Gallagher, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Declan Rice, Curtis Jones, Kobe Mainoo, Adam Wharton, Kane, Saka, Anthony Gordon, James Maddison, Ollie Watkins, Foden, Eze, Cole Palmer, Tony, as you just mentioned, Jack Grealish and Jared Bowen as the forwards. Now, ambitious, but then he went back to default very quick, because I'm looking at this squad, like you just said about Tony, even James Maddison. I know people are going to say, but he's got to be in there.
You're right, though. You're right.
But
you're right.
Has he had a good season?
He had a good start to the season.
To the season.
Yeah, got injured, came back, was decent again. He's not been horrendous, but I would argue that I would see more reason to take. Like, even you mentioned it, and I forgot about him, Loftus-Cheek.
Yeah, come on, man. Tomorrow.
Even Harvey Elliott.
Harvey Elliott should be in that. If you've got a 33-man squad and you're going to chop down whatever the numbers are, you got to chop down, then he has to be in that, because he had a brilliant season for Liverpool. And even if he doesn't make the final squad, at least give him the opportunity to train. And 10 days, I think they train with the squad or whatever. Let him train, because if he shows you something in there that he warrants a seat on the plane, you've taken that opportunity away from him by not even adding him into the 33 squad, which is mad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I just find the guy baffling, man. You're doing so well. And the thing is, a lot of these younger players, I think, are still going to get dropped anyway. I think.
Yeah.
I don't mind Trafford getting dropped because the other three are better than him currently, so there's no issue there. But he's young, he's got a future there. But Quansah not making it. I don't think Konsa is going to make the squad.
Or Dunk.
I don't. No, I think Dunk's making it.
Okay, well, that means Joe Gomez don't make it then.
I think Joe Gomez or Braithwaite ain't making it.
Gomez won't make it. Gomez won't make it. Braithwaite will go. Braithwaite has to. In fact, Braithwaite has to start for me, actually. What am I talking about? I'd start him. Look at
it's going to be Maguire and Stones, though, no?
No, it will be. It will be. But what I'm saying is it shouldn't be. I think it shouldn't be. I look at Braithwaite and I think about Harry Maguire, and I've said this on multiple occasions. He plays well for England, Harry Maguire. But we've got to look at a new dawn. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. You know that song there. So, you know what I mean? You got to start with something fresh, man. Trippier. Well, before going to Trippier, I don't know if you got to see the press conference yesterday. And Southgate basically said that Luke Shaw, it's touch and go. I'm paraphrasing, but he said it's touch and go whether Luke Shaw will even make it on the plane due to his injuries. And we're basically going to assess him in the next 10 days to see if he can actually get through some sort of fitness regime to then make it on the plane. What is the point in taking him? Take Tyreek Mitchell, who is there. Take him. Take the brother because he's there and he can do the job that you're expecting Luke Shaw to do, and he's not injured.
He actually said that.
Yeah, he said. Don't quote me on the exact words, but he basically said there's a very high likelihood that Luke Shaw will not make it on the plane.
So you've just wasted the squad position, then, isn't it? That's what's happened.
What is the point in taking him? Like,
I can't do it with this guy, man. I just can't do it. I can't. Whether you win the tournament or not, just get out. I don't care. It's ridiculous. Tyreek Mitchell's had a better season. Alfie Doughty has had a better season. Like, because they're there. And I said it. People might find, someone said that it's a bit ludicrous. I'm expecting someone from Luton first season to get into the thing he's been really. But I'm like, no. He's been a creative monster for a club that doesn't get to make many chances in games.
Yeah, if you base it on form as well. You're basing it on form.
You know, he's got a good number of assists this season. I think 8, which is near enough top 5, top 6 in the league. He creates a lot of chances, dead ball specialists. So you can have him, you can have Trent. You know, options on either side to whip balls in a different way. Same way Liverpool do. I mean, obviously, Robertson's not the same level as Trent, but you can see at free kicks at times they were next to each other by the ball, depending on what delivery they wanted to bring to the ball. Like you got options there, man. Like, I'm sorry, there's being ambitious and then there's just being stupid. And quite frankly, he's gone back to stupid. It's if Luke Shaw has not played since. Damn, when did he last play?
I don't even know, bro. He's your guy. He's your guy.
Somebody United shirt. I can't recall it.
He's your guy. He's your guy. He's not mine.
No. He's my United guy. He's not my guy. Let's not do that. Let's do it.
Man.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
The one thing I will credit Southgate for, because I think a lot of people bantered and joked about it before, was that he might still include Henderson. He might still include somehow trying to include Calvin Phillips, and he might include Rashford. I'm glad, and Reece James, Chilwell as well. I'm glad he didn't include them, because I don't think any of those 5 even deserved a mention in that list, because one, you can look at injury, you can look at the form of certain players, but then that goes back to my point though. So if you're looking at that and you're seeing Reece James hasn't played enough, he's injured. Luke Shaw can't come into that conversation because he's in the same category as Reece James or Chilwell. Then you look at form. So you think about form now. You think, right, Marcus Rashford, Jordan Henderson, they haven't played well enough this season. You can't put them in there. So why have you got certain players like Maddison in there then? For me, personally, why have you got him in there?
The ones that baffle me the most are Grealish,
Dunk.
Trip. The thing is, the reason why No, I don't think Trippier should have been in there, but the reason why I understand he's in there is because despite him having what we would call a bad season, his assist numbers are still very high in the league. He's got 10 assists this season.
Yeah, to me, that's a forced one, though. I think that was forced on him. He had to take him because he knows he needs cover at left back.
That's exactly what I was going to say. He's done that before, so that's probably why he's put him in there. But this is what you're talking about. Tyre Mitchell's there. He's an option, and he's been really good this season. You're talking about Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace has been great this year. They found their groove, and they found form, and they've been balling that. That's why Eze's in there, and deservedly so. But then ask you a question: if he's going to be ambitious, is Eze even going to make the squad?
This is it. This is what I'm saying. I think he might be one of... Well, you look at those attacking kind of roles. Because I was trying to think last night, like he's obviously heavily stacked in defenders. I think a lot of them will drop out. We spoke about Duncan, Konza, and maybe Gomez that might drop out, Kwanzaa as well. But then you look at the forwards, like would Eze even get a game? Like I think he should be underplaying. I'm not saying he shouldn't go, but I'm thinking how Gareth Southgate will think. I don't even think he'd play him. I don't think
it should be him and Gordon competing for that left side. That's what I feel.
I don't think he'll do that. Well, he'll take Grealish. Grealish plays left.
He shouldn't be.
He will not take Grealish. He will not take him.
You know what? Joining Man City must be the biggest blessing in disguise because the fact they win league titles means you can stink for 38 games and no one will bat an eyelid. And
well, it's the Calvin Phillips effect, man. That's what, remember, Calvin Phillips was there and he was still getting picked. He wasn't even playing for City.
Facts. Oh, wait, they're winning games and they won the league title. I think he's in good form then. Obviously, he's playing his part. No, he hasn't. No, he has not. He has not.
Nah, it's mad. I still think, I mean, I look at the way that he's picked so many defenders makes me think he might still go. Because I'm sure he did not play the five at the back. I'm sure he did not play 3 centre-backs.
Last time he did, yeah.
Yeah. I think he did, didn't he? But I don't think we need to do that. When you look at the attackers we've got, I don't think he even needs to do that.
No.
I don't think he needs to do that. I'll do 4-2-3-1. I think. Off the top of my head, really quick.
You have Rice and Mainu maybe at the...
I mean, that's
or Rice and Gallagher, actually.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's the only... My worry in this lineup, even however we shape up, attacking-wise, calm, good. We're good to go. We're going to score goals. But defensively, and in that midfield as well, you look at the midfielders, we're short on numbers in midfield. That's why I probably would have looked at Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's had a really good season for AC Milan. Really good season.
I would say, looking at the midfield, looking at it on my phone now, I think he would drop only one player, and that's going to be Wharton. Only because I think it's not that it's too early, but it's his first. No, it's his first selection, so
it's too early. He's only 20.
He's only 20, but he's really good. That's what I'm saying. Maybe
he is.
Yeah, but I think they'll just be like no, because obviously Mainu's younger than him, but Mainu has the effect of obviously being in a bigger spotlight because he plays for United. Yeah. I think therefore might be just as equal, if I'm being honest with you. But yeah, he's under a bigger spotlight, so he's getting a bit more shine. But I think him and Wharton have been just as good as each other. But yeah, I think Wharton will be the one to drop out. I think Curtis Jones makes the squad. If Curtis Jones doesn't make the squad either, I'm going to lose it personally. I'm just going to lose it personally.
I just can't see a squad where, and I'm not his biggest fan either. Like, I'll be honest, but Harvey Elliott has had a brilliant season for Liverpool, man.
Be there.
He should be in there. He should same for Solanke. I don't know if you got to see Solanke. Like, I think he just put crying emojis on Instagram when the squad was announced. I kind of get it. Like, part of me goes back to what I said about the Pochettino Chelsea thing. Sometimes you just got to say nothing and just let things just do their thing, and then you just, you know what I mean, don't say anything sometimes. But you must, after playing 38 games plus whatever this season, must be annoyed when you've done so well for Bournemouth and you're not even in the 33-man preliminary squad, the squad that you know is going to get cut down, and you might be one of those people that get the chop. But you're not even in that squad. That's mad. Do you know how mad that is? No, man.
Well, for his, I'm eager to see who he kicks out. I'm eager now because I just don't trust him. I don't trust him, man. I don't trust him. And the squad is good enough to progress to the semi-finals minimum, where people come and say, look, this is why he chose the squad. But there's game changes that I think he's missed out on, man.
Mm.
That's just what it is.
Yeah, no, it's true. Just before we wrap up, just so we did our own predictions before the initial announcement came out, and yours was very kind of similar to mine. Well, we both chose similar. So you had Jordan Pickford, Ramsdale, Dean Henderson in goals as goalkeepers, Carl Walker, Trent, John Stones, Levi Colwell, Fikayo Tomori, Harry Maguire, Mark Guehi, Jared Branthwaite, Alfie Doughty, Luke Shaw, Rice, Bellingham, Foden, Conor Gallagher, Kobe Mainu, Harvey Elliott, James Maddison, Curtis Jones, Wharton, Eze, Harry Kane, Saka, Jared Bowen, Ollie Watkins, Anthony Gordon, Dominic Solanke, and Cole Palmer. I don't think I had many different. I think I had Joe Gomez as a different option to you. And I think I had Ruben Loftus-Cheek in mine as well. That was the only differences there, I think, between our squads. But yeah, man, we have to see, man. We'd have to see. We'll do when the official, because we seem to be like the only nation that has to pick 33 men.
But I saw Portugal pick their squad straight away. I was like, look at this.
And France have done it as well. Like,
there you go. Efficiency. There's no wasting time here. No selling dreams.
Why are we picking players that we know ain't on the plane and then wasting time preparing when we should be preparing for the Euros with the squad that's going to the Euros? Like, what?
Literally, pick 23 and then tell the next 10 guys,
reserve.
If anything happens between now and beginning of the tournament, just know that the chance you can get picked called.
Just keep yourself fit, man. Just keep yourself fit throughout the next couple of days, next 2-3 weeks. If you're not called up, see you later, man. Get your plane tickets to Dubai or wherever you want to go and relax in Dubai, and that's it. I don't get it, but yeah, man, stupidness, man. But hopefully, Gareth Southgate's last tournament, fingers crossed, it's his last one, man, because we need new lease of life in that direction, man. But let's talk about the big one, man. FA Cup final. Do you know what? I'm praying that City do me a favour. I'm not going to lie. But now I'm not praying. I don't know what to think anymore now with the news of Pochettino. For those who were wondering, I think if City win the FA Cup final, then it kind of gives us the opportunity to jump into the Europa League as opposed to the Conference League. I think I've got that right. Might have got that wrong. But what's your thoughts going into that?
I'm still not convinced that we have enough to win the game. I think I'm probably one of the few people that just doesn't look at City and think, it's a done deal. I'm never afraid of Man City. I've always been more afraid of Liverpool, even back to the days when they had Devon didn't go. But that's just because of the respect of the rivalry. But City are the favourites. City will go into the game as confident as ever. They've won another league title and they'll be ready to try and win another one. Funny enough, I know this is not to do with the FA Cup final, but I thought I'd just bring this up because screw them. A couple of days ago, it was leaked that the UK government and people close enough to City had discussions about the 115 charges. And it comes out today, this morning, Time Sport, live and direct, that the owners have gone to Pep and said, don't worry, we will be cleared. Mm-hmm. Don't worry. Yeah, fraudulent works again. I'm just going to say this right now, and I'm just going to put this out there, and I don't want people to think this is me being sour or me, I don't know, just trying to whatever they think it is.
Mm.
If we lose this game against City, quite frankly, I won't care. And it's not because of not caring that Man United didn't win. It's because the team that we're losing, that to me, is a stain on this league. It's a stain in the world of English football. I'm sorry. Whether our City fans like that or not, I don't care. And it's not even to do with City fans or as institution, because City were there before these guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You go back to Nicky Weaver days and all these guys. They've had their time.
Rosler and them.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There's heritage there, but they've got the days of main road. You're a club. You're a club and you deserve to be recognised as an English club. And there's no problem with that. But these guys have come in and they've run your club so dirtily that right now I don't look at you and have an ounce of respect for your club. And that's just the truth.
Mm.
That's just how it is.
It stinks, man. It stinks.
It stinks. So whether you guys win or not, next season, this season, wherever, I don't look at you as the same respect as I have for Chelsea, for Liverpool, for Arsenal, in terms of rivalries I'm talking about. And even other clubs, regardless of rivalry or not, I just don't have that level of respect for you. I'm sorry. So if you win this game, I don't care. If we win the game, obviously I'll care because my team won a trophy and it's great. But if we lose, at the same time, it's going to be like, well, all right, then we're just losing to another club that should be charged for 115 cases of fraudulent behaviour, but won't be, because every time this happens, you have discussions with a government, or you bring 500 lawyers to UEFA and you pay them off nice and handsomely, and they take it because they want to take the money. It's power, and it's ruined it. And I might be hypocritical because when we were looking for new owners, I wanted the Qatari ownership, and I knew what that would have entailed. But I was hoping that no matter who takes over United, the idea that United keep themselves as an institution, how you just come and clear the debts and let Man United continue to finance themselves the way they always have been. You don't have to throw extra money into the coffers and, make it look like the books are clean when they're not. That's my only aim, and that's my only hope from the get-go. Obviously, it's not them, so that's fine. Ineos are not exactly very clean either, but who is these days? The point being, I don't want my club to ever be in a situation where we're being told that we are getting charged an absurd amount of times, because quite frankly, from the days of Mancini onwards, there's been dirty behaviour.
Oh, yeah.
So if you win the FA Cup final, good. Congratulations. But I don't care. It doesn't hit me the same way. It just doesn't. I'm just being very honest.
It's almost like it doesn't matter, because almost by default you expect to lose a little bit because of the bullshit that they're doing. The fuckery that they're doing. Do you know what I mean? You've built a mega squad. And don't get me wrong. Yeah. This is not me making an excuse for United, by the way. We spent billions. No. But I think there's spending, and then there's being sneaky by spending. Do you know what I mean?
That's the difference.
Imagine you're doing fraud on one side, but you're still spending. But you're spending other people. You know what I mean? You're doing fraud on the side, but then you're on the other side, but you're just spending your own actual money that you've just pumped into the club. So that's a legitimate source of funds, and you're doing it the right way. Whether you do it good and in the right way is a different story, because you still have to spend the money wisely and whatever else. But if you're doing it and you're just literally hiding money in this account and paying yourself this, and Chelsea aren't far behind City. Let's be real, like they're doing some mad loopholes as well. But I think with City, I read a tweet actually similar to what you read. I've got it here. So it says the UK government has admitted that its embassy in Abu Dhabi have discussed 115 charges levelled at Man City by the Premier League, but are refusing to disclose the correspondence because it could risk UK's relationship with UAE.
What is that?
That is a mad. But do you know what? Do you know what? I followed up that because I found a mad tweet the other night, and it's from Santi's Magic. So if you're on Twitter, whoever this person is, kudos to you, because you broke this down very, very nicely. There's a couple, like a mad thread, and it includes all emails, and it includes loads of stuff, loads of detail about why Man City should be charged. It's got lots of receipts in this thread here. So if you got a bit of 5 minutes or 10 minutes or so, Santi's Magic on Twitter, or just search Magic Hat, hopefully it comes up. Go look at that tweet, because it tells you everything you need to know about why. Because City fans were arguing with me the other day. So one of the City fans was like, how do you know we're guilty? Bro, 115 charges, you're guilty of something.
115 charges, you're not guilty of one.
Bro.
Really?
Bro. They said one or two. This is 115 charges. You're
They've been
guilty.
working on this for years. This wasn't a thing where they sat there one day and said, oh, by the way, we found this charge. Oh my days, I found this one as well. No. Premier League have worked on a load, because quite frankly, let's be honest, Premier League lost their power to clubs a long time ago. So they're trying to get that power back. Obviously, they're trying to use you as the biggest example. But the reason they're using you as the biggest example, because they've got the evidence clearly to charge you 115 times to say you have done criminal behavior here. And you've not been clear, and you've not been direct with the books. I keep saying it. Every now and then they keep throwing it back to United. Oh yeah, but United match fixed back in the day. I'm like, well, I'll present this to you. Man United are not the same club. We don't have the same power anymore. So if they wanted to, they can go back and say, oh, we've got evidence.
Some historical shit. Yeah, historical.
They can do it. It's there. It's always there. They do it to Barcelona.
Yeah.
They do it to Juventus.
Yep.
It happens in every league. They can do it if they want to.
And I hate that. I hate that kind of thing. Oh, but United, this doesn't take away your 115 charges. Like your 115 charges they're still sticking. Like if I commit murder and you've committed 115 and you go, oh yeah, but you've committed a murder. Yeah. But you still committed 115 murders, bro. What are you talking about, man? You've done the same thing 115 times. Nah, man, they get on my nerves, man. City fans get on my nerves. They get on my nerves. But in terms of the FA Cup, the final, I think there's an opportunity for United to do something here. And I know you're the underdogs. I know City are the team and whatever else. But I think when you take the game to City, and I always think this about City in finals as well. You know, I was watching our final against them, the League Cup, when Kepa refused to come off and all the rest of it. And if you take the game to them, just give them something to think about. It's all there to take. It's all there to take because they're so used to, you know, controlling possession and having the ball and doing what they want and dictating the game. If you just throw something in there to make them think differently, you might throw them off. And some of them might be on holiday mode as well. You got to remember that. They could be on their little vibey vibe. Some of them were out still partying 5 o'clock the other night. So they might still be on that vibe as well. But Pep likes to tinker with the squad in finals. I've noticed that as well. The Champions League finals, prime example. So it's something there, man. I think, listen, I'm on City's side for Chelsea's European hopes. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. But at the same time, I want to see a decent final. I don't want to see one-sided, you know, like stupid final. I want to see United challenge and try and at least attempt to win the FA Cup, man. It's still a respectable trophy to end the season on.
Yeah, no, the selection is going to be the key thing, man. If it comes to taking against City, I think he needs to still be a bit chesty with it and just keep playing Amad and Garnacho on either sides. If you want to do the Bruno Fernandes as a false nine thing, fine. But at the same time, I don't think McTominay should play because he has not provided any impact in the last couple of games. That's what it is for me, man. Look, it's a weird one for United. I think they're in a weird situation. Look, I think United need to win a trophy. 2 years for Ten Hag, 2 trophies would be great. Fantastic for him.
I got a question for you in a minute.
Okay. At the same time, I feel like if United are going to properly rebuild with Ineos in charge, I think it might be a blessing in disguise. It might be. Not that I don't want United to lose the game, but I'm just going to put this out there for fans to understand. If we lose, don't panic. A year with no European football might be good for the benefit of United. It might be. Just because I feel like the club needs almost like the biggest awakening that this squad overhaul needs to happen a lot sooner than, you know, maybe planned. Yeah. Because if these guys can't get into Europe at all, if that's how far we've fallen, because we finished 3rd last year, then big changes need to happen. That's why I'm presenting out there. I'm not saying that I want United to. Every game I watch United, I want United to win. There's 100%. No way that I'd want United to lose a game. No way. But at the same time, I'm very aware of what the situation is at the club, and quite frankly, a lot of these players shouldn't be here or hope not to be here. So, yeah, win the game. But if we're not, then don't panic. We might need a year out of Europe just to fix things. Personally,
I don't disagree that at all. I think, I think it can be a blessing in disguise. But again, you look at how we've been and. Yeah. But then saying that, I think you had the year out of European football and seemed to kind of bring yourself back a little bit. I can't remember when that period was. Was that under Ole?
No.
There was this period of time recently when you you had a year without European football. Did you not?
I don't think we have, you know.
Maybe it's Arsenal. Sorry, I'm getting confused with Arsenal. One of the two.
Under Moyes. Oh, wait, under Moyes we finished 7th. Was LBG in Europe in his first year?
I thought there was a period, one season, where I'm sure you missed out on.
I'll have to check. When we finished 7th under Moyes, we'll have to see if we had European football that year or not. I can't remember.
But either way, I think it could be a blessing and a curse at the same time. But the question I had for you is, if Erik ten Hag goes on to win another trophy with Manchester United, can they, and I say they, Ineos and whoever else at the top, can they sack him, and should they sack him?
They can sack him, but I don't think they should. Let me just
add that in. Maurizio Pochettino is waiting in the wings. Thomas Tuchel are waiting in the wings. Two good managers, let's be honest. They're good managers.
Absolutely. But I think, I just think if you consider the circumstances right now and what in yourself trying to say, not that they wouldn't, they're a bit different to Chelsea. They're saying that, or Bodie, I should say rather, that the manager that comes in, yes, or if he's there or not, will have a say in transfers, but they'll have the final call on who comes in. They'll try and match with the philosophy that's supposed to be played. That's fine. If he wins another trophy, 2 trophies in 2 years, I think it's fair to give him the last year. He's got a year left of his contract anyway. I think that'd be fair just to give him a go. But if he doesn't win, then yeah, by all means, if they do sack him, I'm not going to be mad at it. So ideally, if you ask me for managers, the 2 that come to mind are Pochettino and Hansi Flick. These are the only 2 I'd accept. Not that I see anything wrong with Tuchel. Quite frankly, I'm on his side when people try to cut him out a lot. But I think he just needs. My personal opinion on Tuchel is I think he needs a year off football. That's my personal opinion. So Poch or Hansi Flick. Yeah, if he's sacked.
Yeah. It's a good shout, man. We'll have to see. We're gonna get a prediction out of you for the final.
I'll go 2-1 United.
Ooh.
How about my boys?
I think I would go for that as well. Or my other option would be penalties. You win it on penalties. You'd win it on penalties because I think it'd be a close game. I do. Maybe I don't want to say that and then it ends up being a 5-0. But I think it could be potentially if United play the way that they have at times this season. I think it could be a very close game. But I'm going to go 2-1 or United on penalties. But before we quickly wrap up, let's talk about the Europa League final. Atalanta, Bayern Leverkusen. Credit to Xabi Alonso, Leverkusen, what they've done this season in the Bundesliga. Where do you see this one going tonight? Because it could be a historic night for Leverkusen.
Yeah, I'm erring towards Leverkusen side as well because they just seem to not know how to lose a game at all. Even when they're up in aggregate and they're losing the game in the second leg. So regardless of what happens after, they still go through. They still go and get the draw regardless. But here is a double-edged sword for you. Atalanta haven't won a trophy in 61 years. And they had just lost the final to Juventus.
Yeah.
So they've got another chance this year to end that drought. So you've got end the long drought of 61 years without a trophy or finish what is essentially the perfect season where you've not lost a damn game in any competition. So I think Leverkusen will probably just about do it. But let's not count Atalanta, man. There's a lot riding on this game for them as well.
I think we can't discredit them. I think sometimes, not me or you, but even they're finishing Serie A. I think they finished 5th this season, just gone. And that's a respectable finish for them based on the season that they've had. But I can't look past Leverkusen. I just can't. I like what you just said. I think it was their semi-final. And the way was it the semi-final they were losing and then they just came back somehow. I think they've got it all in abundance and I think they're a really good team. I think I just can't overlook them, man. And I don't know whether it's Xabi Alonso, the coaching staff, the players, everything is just clicking. There seems to be, they're running through brick walls for that man. And when you've got a manager like that and you've got a team like that, you can see why they're favourites. But I'm leaning towards Leverkusen tonight. 8 o'clock kickoff. That should be a good one. When's the Conference League then? Is that next week?
So you've got Europa this Wednesday.
Next week's
FA
conference.
Saturday, Europa Conference Wednesday, and the Champions League Saturday.
The big one Saturday, 1st of June. So big couple of weeks coming up. And then obviously we've got the big one, the Euros coming up in about 2 or 3 weeks. Leverkusen for me and you, Kojo, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to go with them, man. I'm going to go with them. I think they deserve it as well. Where can you see, because obviously he's staying at Leverkusen, but where can you see Xabi Alonso going from here? Once he's achieved maybe another season at Leverkusen.
Real Madrid, man.
Real Madrid. Not Liverpool.
Real Madrid. No way. Real Madrid. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, and I'm saying it for myself as well. It doesn't matter how much you achieve. Listen, or what you have.
He ain't
Hopefully they should
backing
have a
away.
player.
He ain't backing
It's
away
Real
from
Madrid.
Madrid. Yeah,
It's Real Madrid, man. Listen, and they know it. They know it's true, man. It's Real Madrid have the power. We won the Champions League and got a Ballon d'Or for Ronaldo. And in that same summer, he said, "Listen,
yeah.
get
like
me
that.
out of here."
Yeah, like that. He's just
We had to
waving.
beg him for one more year, and even then, he's still. So, yeah.
Shit, it's funny. It's funny, man. It's a good way to end the pod after the way it started. But yeah, anyone who's listening, thank you. If you're still here, make sure you like the video. As I said at the start, make sure you leave some comments as well. Get involved. Leave your thoughts in there. Let us know what your England squad would be, the final England squad for the Euros as well. As I said before, Pochettino being sacked, is it the right call from the Chelsea owners? United, can they do what seems to be the unthinkable and win the FA Cup against Manchester City as well? And yeah, we'll be back, man. We've got loads to cover in the summer, especially the Euros as well coming up. So make sure you tune in for all of those stuff there, some content. And Kojo's always, man, free midfield. Can't forget that. Yeah, man. We'll
the format's changing a little bit, but we'll get to that later on. Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
Yeah, man, I hear that, man. And yeah, man, we'll be back soon, man. So thanks for listening and enjoy the rest of the week, man. Enjoy it, man.